All right, class, I'm back with one last video on the probability distribution problem that we're given as an example in the book. I am now in the book on page 254, and the book explains that, given this scenario, I think it's the cable company, and we know that there is the mean for the phone calls is 12 minutes and the standard deviation is 3 minutes. But now they're asking us, so what they're saying, the goal is for 95% of the customers to require less than 18 minutes on the phone. And so how do we solve this problem? Well, the first thing that we're going to do in solving this problem is we're going to work backwards. So I would say step one is, I'll write this over here. So step one is that they're giving us the probability because they want to know what's the probability, right? Well, they're telling us that the goal is for 95% of the customers to be on the phone for less than 18 minutes. So they're telling us the probability that customers on the phone equal to or less than 18 minutes, that is equal to 0.95. So 95% chance that the customers are going to be on the phone for less than 18 minutes, right? So if they're giving us this probability, our step two is to find the z-score that's associated with that probability, right? So the probability that x is less than or equal to 18, right, is equal to the probability that the z-score is less than or equal to what? So what is the z-score associated with 0.95? Well, step three, and I love these steps. I've been doing these type of problems for, I hate to say it, for I would say well over 30 years. And I always think it out and write it out in steps. So my third step is I'm going to look up in the table inside the table. Well, that's this probability. I'm going to look up the probability, the actual probability, not the z-score, inside the table. So, and there's a more complete table in the appendices for this book. So if I were to look in the table and try to find where the probability is actually equal to 0.95 in the table, I'm going to find is that it's 1.6 on the left-hand side, and that 0.95 falls smack dab in between 0.04 and 0.05. And so when I look this up, I'm going to find inside the table that my z-score is equal to 0.1645. And that is what I found by looking that up inside of the table, right? So now, step 5 is to plug that in with algebra. So we're just going to use basic algebra. So we'll use algebra to solve this. And so we know, right, that the z-score is equal to x minus mu over standard deviation, right? And so if we are now solving for the x, because we want to find out what the x is, we're going to have, that's going to lead us to z times mu, right? I'm sorry, z times standard deviation plus mu is going to be equal to x. So in solving, I now know that 3 times, or the 1.645 times 3, right, plus the 12 is going to give me the x that I'm looking for. And then my x is going to end up being, 16.94 minutes. So I know that, yes, it's a big fat yes, that 95% of the callers are waiting less than 18 minutes. As a matter of fact, 95% of the callers are waiting less than 16.94 minutes. So they're waiting less than 17 minutes. So, like I said, I did made this video to supplement what's in your book on page 254. If you have any questions, you can always email me, reach out to me. We can even schedule a problem